Hi there everyone, Tom Voyage here and welcome back to another video. So OONI have recently released this oven, it's the KARU 12G. Now if you've just picked up one of these ovens for yourself and you're having a little bit of trouble getting started, you may find this video helpful. So in this beginner's guide, I'm going to talk you through some tips in setting up your oven. I'm going to show you how to control the airflow and fill the fuel basket. And then, of course, we'll finally cook a pizza. So if at any point you find this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's go. So firstly, let's talk about tables. Now, as you can see here, I've got a nice wooden table from ZEST. You can use any kind of table as long as it's steel, stone or wood. You should be fine. OONI don't recommend that you put it on a glass table or a plastic table. The table needs to be nice and sturdy and it needs to have lots of room around the oven. That's because if you're launching a pizza and you accidentally hit the back of the oven, there is a risk of it falling off. So yeah, you need a nice sturdy table. Now the second thing to think about is airflow. If you've got a bit of a breeze like we have today, it's important that the breeze is coming through the back of the oven. This is designed to help the airflow. So the air comes in through the back of the oven, through the fire, heats up, over the top, bringing a nice big flame and then up out the oven. If the air's coming from the front, it's going to direct the airflow the wrong way and you're going to struggle to heat up your pizza oven. Now before you light your oven, you want to get all your tools ready. So here are some of the tools that I would recommend to make your life easier when making pizza. So first off is pizza peels. I've got two here. This one is for launching the pizzas and this one's a turning peel for turning the pizza whilst it's in the oven. Next is a digital infrared thermometer. Now the OONI KARU 12G does have a thermometer on the side, but this only measures the air temperature of the oven and it's important that we measure the stone temperature. So you'll need one of these to help you measure the stone temperature. And finally is some good quality fuel. So I use this birch charcoal from OONI, but you can use any good quality lumpwood charcoal. You'll also need some wood. Now you can buy kiln dried wood from many places or you can source it yourself. But if you are sourcing it yourself, just make sure it's properly dry before using it. So with this being a multi-fuel pizza oven, you can cook on either wood, charcoal or gas. You will need an attachment to cook on gas, but today we're going to be cooking on a mixture of wood and charcoal. So let's take a closer look at how we set up this fuel. So depending on the heat that you want inside your oven is going to depend on the different types of fuel. Now if you're using wood only, like we've got here, you're going to get a really high temperature, that's about 500 degrees. Again, if you're using a mixture of charcoal and wood, that too is going to give you a really high temperature, ideal for cooking Neapolitan style pizzas. You can just use charcoal on its own, but that's going to reduce the temperature in the oven to about 250 to 300 degrees. Now that's going to be better if you're cooking things like bread or chicken or a pan style pizza. And of course, finally, you've got gas. Now, gas is ideal if you want a range of temperatures because you simply turn it up or down depending on how hot you want the oven. So when setting up your fuel basket for wood, I like to use a kiln dried oak or birch like we've got here. So these are about 12 to 15 centimeters in length, which fit ideally in the basket. So we'll put a few logs down. We stuff a couple of these firelighters in here and then put a couple of logs on top to get the fire going. Now, once this is burning, you'll need to constantly add logs to the top of this to make sure that the fire stays hot. Now if we were to cook on charcoal, you want to set it up like this. So these are medium-sized pieces which still allows a good airflow. And once you've got the tray full to about level, you can stick in one of these fire lighters. Once we've lit the charcoal, I usually put a couple of these kindling logs on top to help give us a flame and cook a pizza. I would recommend this method for beginners because it's easier to have a constant temperature from the charcoal and add just one or two chunks of wood to keep that flame going. So once you've filled your fuel basket, put it in the oven and push it all the way to the back. Don't worry if some of the charcoal bits get stuck, you can always add them this way afterwards. Another handy tip is there's a hook on the back of this hatch door that you can hang on there to keep it nice and out of the way because it does heat up quite hot. So our fuel basket's in, full of charcoal, ready to light. We're going to put one log on top and then get our blowtorch here. This is a chef's blowtorch I bought off Amazon. Stick it in and get that lit. So this is the point where we need to make sure that the vents are fully open, the front door's closed, and then we close this hatch and leave it for about 10 to 15 minutes to start heating up. Now, if your oven is lit up and you're getting quite a lot of smoke, that could mean that there's not enough airflow or that you've overfilled the fuel basket. If this is happening, either take a couple of bits of wood out of the fuel basket to help that airflow, or you can use a pizza peel like this to stand at the back of the oven and just help direct some air through the oven to get things moving. So what we want to be seeing is a nice, clear, kind of light blue smoke like we've got here. If you've got black smoke or really thick white smoke, that's not good. So the thermometer on the side of the OONI here has 3 different colours. Yellow means it's still too cool and the oven's heating up. Orange means that it's at a temperature where you might want to cook like bread or like a pan pizza or something like that. And red is all the way up to the hottest temperature, so that's where you need to be for your Neapolitan style pizza. So having this glass door is handy on the oven because it means you can check your fire without disrupting the airflow. But really what we're looking for is having a nice big rolling flame from the back of the oven to the front of the oven like this. Now we mentioned before to keep the chimney baffle fully open, but that's only if you want a really hot oven to cook hot pizza. If you wanted to shoot for a cooler temperature, you can use this baffle to go halfway or all the way closed to reduce the temperature in the oven and make for a cooler cook. So as you can tell, because we're here in the UK, one of the joys of living here is it just starts to rain randomly, so it's now chucking it down. So we've moved everything under the cover here, but we've been going for about 25 minutes, which means it's time to check our oven temperature. Now, OONI claims that it takes about 15 minutes to get this oven up to temperature, but from my experience, I find it's more like 25 minutes. The thermometer on the side of the oven is hitting in the red zone, which means we're hot enough to cook a pizza, but I'm going to check the stone temperature with my digital thermometer. So we aim for the middle of the stone there, and that's shooting at 450 degrees, which is definitely hot enough to cook a pizza. So we'll go and prepare our pizza and get it on this oven ready to cook. So here we have our Neapolitan style pizza ready to cook. Today we're using the OONI frozen dough. I'd recommend that for beginners because it takes the effort out of having to make your dough. You know you've got a good product and you can concentrate on starting to learn to use your oven. Now when launching a pizza, some people freak out because it's meant to be the hard part, but it's really not that bad. But if you want to learn more about launching tips, I'll link my video all about that above. Right, let's get this pizza on. So straight away, nice quick motion, close the door and wait for our pizza to cook. And there you have it, in around 60 seconds, that's a Neapolitan style pizza cooked on the OONI KARU 12G. So as you can see from the crust, we've got some nice leopard in here. It's a good cook on the base as well, and the toppings are all lovely and melted too. So there we have it, our pizza is cooked. Now if you wanted to buy any of the products that you've seen in this video, you can check the links in the description below. It doesn't cost any more money, but it helps me out with a bit of commission so we can carry on making these kinds of videos. Now, you've cooked your pizzas, your party's over, and it's time to cool down the oven. So the best way to do this is either one, just let it burn out, let it cool down naturally, and that's fine. But if you want to speed things up, you can always close the vents on the oven. That stops the airflow and helps it cool down quicker. But please bear in mind, if you are cooking on charcoal or wood, it takes a lot longer to cool down than gas. Obviously with gas, you just turn it off, open all the doors and vents, and it'll cool down relatively quickly. Now, one of the things I love about the OONIs is that they're self-cleaning. Obviously, the inside of the oven gets up to about 500 degrees centigrade. It's so hot that no germs or anything are going to harbour in there. But if you did want to check out how to clean the stone, I've got a video all about that, which I'll link above. And if you want to clean the exterior of the oven, OONI recommend just using a damp cloth once it's cool, of course, and some stainless steel cleaner to clean all the stainless steel bits. And of course, if you are planning to store your OONI outside, I would recommend one of these covers. It helps keep the rain off and they fit nicely over the ovens. I actually store mine on a shelf in the garage, but I still use one of these covers just to help keep the dust off. So thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did find it useful, please remember to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. We've got all sorts of recipes and methods and tips and tricks for the OONI pizza ovens. And if you've got any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments section below. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time for more pizza making videos.